My name's Peter. I'm 22 years old and I'm a recovering drug addict.
My name is Todd and I'm Peter's father.
I started doing drugs a lot when I was probably about 12, 13, mostly alone. I started doing heroin almost exclusively when I was about 18, maybe 19. And it went from like this is a problem, I should probably stop, to I can't do a single thing in my life, without this drug. I can't get out of bed in the morning. I can't go to sleep at night. I couldn't possibly talk to another person unless I was high. Just because like the sheer fear that I lived in all the time, just the things that the drug did to me, like outside of being high, were very, very frightening too. I would always be afraid of the police. I was constantly in fear of getting arrested, but I didn't care that I could get arrested. I knew it was like a factor, and I knew it would mean I would stop getting high for a little while because I'd be in jail or prison, but that didn't mean that like I cared. The entire world had turned into just a dollar sign that was like a means to an end to me not being sick anymore. Towards the end, I didn't really get high. I mean, it would be a stretch to say I was getting high because I would just mostly be either awake, passed out, or sick. Those were like the only states that I had. I rarely showered. I was like always covered in blood. It was very dramatic and very disgusting. It wasn't pleasant at all. I don't know that I would have been able to stop had I not been, physically drawn down across the country to an intervention that was, in gear up to go to rehab, and it wasn't a smooth process at all. It didn't work out real great, but if those steps hadn't been taken, I probably wouldn't be alive, realistically.
Getting Peter into rehab, he made it sound so easy. He came down for Christmas and ended up in treatment. But it was a lot harder than that. We knew that Peter could walk out of rehab. We knew he didn't want to walk in there. But I was proud and emotional when he walked in that place and stayed.
Rehab was great. I mean, I finally had a break from the twisted like cycle that I was stuck in. It was like the first time that I was around a bunch of people trying to do the same thing that I was trying to do, which is stop drinking or stop doing drugs. I just got this hope in me, and I just had it's so weird to say rehab was a great time, but I really had a lot of fun in treatment, a lot of great memories from there. On the other hand of that, though, my treatment roommate has recently passed away about 4 months ago because he wasn't able to stay sober. He wasn't able to stay clean.
It was hard those first several weeks when we couldn't see him. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if he was going to make it or not. The change over the last year and a half really has given us a tremendous hope. It's given us our son back to a large extent, the son we hadn't known for years and years. I am so emotional about how hard it was on Sean and I. I almost can't talk about it. To have him back as a functioning part of our family is really a fabulous thing.
Every day I do work to make sure I don't, relapse, and to make sure that I don't get high again, and to make sure that my life doesn't end up the way it was, it's almost slated to, it seems like. So it's not hard work, but it's not easy either. It's constant vigilance. I do at least one thing every day to make sure that I don't get high. I work really hard at that, actually. I'm back in school successfully, doing very, very, very well in school. I actually have finals starting in 2 days. I'm not looking forward to that. Life is very, very smooth now. I don't deal with things the same way I used to. And I really have no complaints about life now. I know that's like kind of like a silly fairy tale ending to like this whole thing, but like I'm very happy. My life is very easygoing, and I show up where I'm supposed to show up, and I do what I'm supposed to do, and as a result of that, I go to bed safe and sound and with a clear conscience.